Right? Imagine, ano kahirap yun. Di ba parang, ikaw talaga, isa ka lang eh. Di ba? Bakit isa ka lang? Pero hindi ko nakuha, right? But then again, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go there and prove that I can actually do the job. And when I get there, it wasn't really about proving if I can do the job, right? It's about, it's about me knowing that I am not really ready for the job so that I can do the quality supervisor job better. Because if I end up going there and proving that I can be a training manager, then I don't think I will be successful, right? So as a leader, it's very important that we are actually bringing out the best in people, right? And we can only do that if we are focusing on their strength and potential. When I move on to the managerial role, I doubted myself many times. I failed not just one, twice, but many, many times. I cried, sometimes I cursed, because, I thought that I wasn't doing a good job. I'm always presented with a problem, a problem that is very difficult to solve. But there's this one person, my boss, obviously, right, who would always tell me, you're Jules Bata, you can do this, right? And I cannot imagine myself tackling those problems because they're just too big and too many to handle. Plus, my team wasn't very happy with me at that time because I was giving them too much work, right? And I was, questioning how performance was and things like that. So therefore, when that happened and this person is telling me I cannot do this is not something that I can do, right? But that person believing in me and focusing on my strength, telling me in bullets, right? My strength, my potential, my achievements, without me knowing, maybe I know them, but I wasn't very confident about them, right? And this person telling me all of that allowed me to actually go in front of my team and tell them, guys, we have a situation and I cannot do it. So being humble, humility is being able to also do the job. Kapag boss ka, hindi pwedeng nagbabantay ka lang. Kapag team lead ka, hindi pwedeng nagko-coach ka lang. Nang hindi alam yung ginagawa nila. How can you coach when you don't even know what they're doing? Right? It's not for them, it's for you to know what the actual process is. And as a leader, we have to be humble enough to tell them, you know what, can you teach me how to actually do this? Right? Can you train me on this data set because this is not something I know? Right? I'm being questioned in this. And therefore, I saw that you're an expert. Can you tell me how to do this? Diba? Because sometimes in order for us to coach them, we have to know the process. Right? You have to know everything about them. That way you can actually help them achieve their desire, achieve their goals. And you can only do that by asking questions. Right? So to be humble, to actually go down and tell your team that you need their help, and at the same time telling them what the real issue is, what is your vision to become successful, and that you need them to actually do the job in order for you to be successful. Does that make sense? Okay, the next one is be a lightning rod for compassion. Kanina sinabi ko yung meaning ng compassion. Does any one of you guys remember the true meaning of compassion? Wala? Ito, meron akong prize. Wala? None. Okay. So, do not mistake compassion with empathy. Okay? Kasi when we talk about compassion, it's a combination of empathy and supportive action. So, it's not just putting yourself in the shoes of your teammates or team leaders, right? Or operations manager. It's doing something about it. So when they tell you that I am struggling, I am not meeting my performance, you can't tell them, gawin mo lang to. You cannot just do that, right? You should be able to help them. Come up with an action plan and show them how to do it. Okay? Because compassion is it's important because when you move up in the leadership role, diba, we're so focused in our day-to-day activities. Ang dami kong coaching, diba? Or you would say na, bakit ang performance ko, I have to do this, right? And then forgetting about the people that you lead. Forgetting that they're actually too tired of rendering overtime, that they have, 25 teammates that they have to coach, and you think that's okay, you know, not seeing that they're not okay physically or mentally. If you don't have compassion, you won't be able to, to see those things in your people, right? And as a leader, you have to have that. When you're talking to them, you can't just talk about, performance and why they're not hitting the goal. You have to also look at holistically what the real problem is and why is it, happening that way. So I said, as leaders, dapat tayo yung, alam mo yun, we have to be a good role model. So when you sign up to become a team leader, diba, you also sign up to become a role model. We have to lead by example, right? And when we talk about compassion, it's important that we ask for their perspective. When making a decision, you have to ask them, okay, ano yung ideas na meron kayo? Right? Is believing that you are not, the best person when it comes to best ideas. Kaya nga di ba tayo nagpapasurvey tayo when we have, questions that we have to ask as simple as, ano yung gusto niyong tips next time? Di ba tinatanong natin yan? Because our teammates or leaders, they want to be involved, right? And then the next one is understand the impact of your title. Majority of the times, and this is very important to me because when I was starting, I have a total of 67 direct reports. It was very, very difficult. I cannot coach all of them, obviously, right? Because it's not possible. But I realized that there was something I was able to do differently. Okay? And that is being able to appreciate even the simple things that they do. Okay? Because when you actually recognize the important things for your teammates, or you recognize whatever success or contribution they've done, or whatever effort they've done, they will be able to show more. Okay? And as a leader, we can't be that person. We can't be the person who says you cannot do this. As a team leader, and if you tell your teammates you cannot do this, they won't be able to do this. I know this because one time I was given a very difficult project. And this project will actually involve pulling the actual account. Okay? The account will be pulled, because graduation rate was going down. Clients were not happy, from 100% graduation rate, obviously, to a 12% graduation rate. And therefore, during that time, that's a problem, okay? And people were just demotivated because nobody is appreciating what they were doing. All they see is the number of the percentage of the graduation rate not raising, okay? And it takes a lot of people to actually find out, what the real problem is. It won't be solved no matter what. People already gave up. We're gonna lose this. Right? People already give up, maybe we can do something about it. Okay? And then, using the first one, ask feedback from your team. Ask them, what do you think we can do differently this time in order for us to change this? So we've always maintained, di ba, sa training team, we've always maintained a 98% graduation rate. So kung 25 yung headcount na nasa class, normally, 100% yan, pero minsan may nawawala. So 97.5 yung graduation rate, right? And then imagine going down to 12%, meaning, at some point, out of the 25 teammates, isa lang yung pumapasa. At nangyari yun hindi sa isang klase, dalawang klase, sunod-sunod. And therefore, I know that I cannot solve that problem, right? And what I did differently was, I gathered my team and I told them, I was already in operations at that time. It's the reason I went back to training. I told them, I'm willing to take on this new job, right? This new responsibility, but I cannot do this alone. So tell me, right? What do you think we should be doing differently? They have the brightest idea, right? Like we have to tell the client that they have to let us manage how we run our training. They have to let us, manage and do the coaching on our own. And they have to stop having weekly calls because we cannot focus, in training our teammates or coaching them on a weekly basis. They have to stop all those business reviews that we have to do that is being prepared by the trainer, right? And I said, all right, we will do that. And then the next one is, again, understand the impact of your title. So them and me, me sharing to them that, hey, I think you guys can do it, right? And I think you guys are the best. I think you guys have the capacity and the skill to actually do this and turn around this performance. And this is, through a general assembly with all of the trainers, the training assistants, and everybody who was supporting that, that side. And when I said that, I said, whoever from this team is not willing to do this with me, you can walk away and I will not hold you accountable. And none of them walked away. All of them stayed, right? They stayed only because I believe in them. Kahit sa likod ko, alam mo yun, yung minsan na parang, kaya ba naman talaga ito? Diba? Minsan may ganun tayo, right? Have you guys experienced that? Na parang, ako na lang yung pinangahawakan, right? But the thing is, as a leader, when people do not believe in their capacity, we have to believe in them, right? It can't be us not believing in them. Because if we believe in them, they will be able to do everything, not for you, right? But for others and for the people that rose up to them as well, for the trainees, okay? And that was, that's a success story that I will never forget because we were able to actually turn around the potential, right? We were able to achieve it wasn't, it wasn't 12%, but at least it was 75%, right? When we started. And slowly, people just talk about, I'm staying, I am no longer resigning, right? I am a good trainer, I can do this. I can start having business reviews with a client and talk about performance. Only because there was one person who actually believed in them, even when, I know that it's going to be very, very difficult because I will have to spend so much time, right, coaching them, so much time sitting down with the teammates too, right, and so much time doing tactical works that in reality, at that time, a director should no longer be doing. But I humbled myself. I went there, observed what is happening, because only by doing that, I can actually truly help them become successful. Okay? So that's the last one. Help them when the going gets tough. Diba? Hindi pwede kapag nahihirapan na sila, iiwanan mo na lang basta-basta. Wala ganun na. Hindi na niya kaya yan, ganyan na yan, mawawala na yan. And that's something sometimes that's a situation we sometimes observe or hear from our leaders. And it can't be like that. A person, a leader with compassion, will always know when something is not right. Okay? And sometimes humility and compassion is difficult. Kasi akala natin meron tayo. But the reality is that, majority of the times we forget about them. Because it doesn't talk about, people doesn't talk about it, right? Or sometimes it's not something that is written in your scorecard. Diba? Wala naman sa KPI ko yan eh. Diba? And sometimes you feel like, you're above everybody because you're already there. And you can't be like that, okay? So even if you are already a manager, right? Hopefully someday, when you become one, just like us, you would remember all the experiences you've had, all the experiences that made you successful, and always look back, how you've done it when you were a teammate. In that way, when you're actually helping out another teammate, when you're already a supervisor, and when you're a manager coaching a team leader, remember that you were once there, not performing, right? You were once there, not knowing what to do. You were once there asking for help, and nobody's willing to give it to you, right? So, humility and compassion, because they are very, very important. And therefore, as you move forward, I shared a while ago that this is something that is always lacking from a leader, diba? Strive hard and find out if you have it, okay? And then find out what do you actually desire from a leader. And sometimes, you could be Sharon who likes a leader whose analytical and critical thinking is so high, right? A leader who's able to empower their employees, right? You have to find that person or that leader, whatever that characteristic is, that you desire the most. What do you look up to when it comes to traits? And instead of, complaining and just talking about, gusto ko, hindi ganito yung team lead ko eh, gusto ko ganito siya, right? Even if you are a teammate right now, a team leader who wants to become a manager who wants to become an SON and SOM, instead of, aspiring to have that person who will actually lead you, be one, diba? Be a leader who is humble and who is compassionate enough to know the need of your people so that you can actually do things better, do the right things for them, and always make a good decision. When making decisions, always consider humility and compassion. That's about it. Thank you, guys. Meron pa kasi akong isang So I want to ask a brave soul, based from what we talked about, maybe I supervised one teammate and one leader. What will you do differently if you're a teammate, to become better at humility or compassion or emotional intelligence starting today? One teammate and one leader. Ang dami. Come on, guys. What will you do differently to exercise emotional intelligence, humility or compassion, right? Beginning today. What's your name?
Gershon, team leader of Dorda. Gershon.
Hirap ng pangalan. Gershon! Alright. So what will you do differently, Gershon?
Be humble enough to move forward from something I'm struggling with. I need to step down and ask for help from my superiors, and not just from my superiors, but also.
Thank you, Gershon. Inka, what about from our teammates? What will you do differently? Ibig sabihin, hindi mo pa ito nagagawa, ha? It's like a realization that you would do differently, when it comes to emotional intelligence or specifically about humility or compassion. Starting today. None? Teammates. Asan yung mga teammates natin?
Motor mo dyan.
Ano? Okay. Anyone? Ayun.
Siguro po yung makinig sa mga payo ng kahit sino ng bad comments man or good comments, dapat kailangan natin tanggapin yun ng buong ito. Yun naman tayo.
Tama pala ko, no? Si may Gershon. Isa lang yung Alright. So makinig sa mga feedback, right? And that's very important. Okay? If you want to become a successful leader, you have to listen. Because the most painful one, yun yung pinakatotoo. So pag sinasabi na ganito ka, di mo itong ginagawa, makinig ka lang. Do something about it. Because they will not tell you if they did not observe you. So listen. Alright, thank you.
Galing mo. 8 minutes na lang talaga.
Ayan, so grabe yung mga learnings natin, no?
So Ms. Sharon talked about we're bound for greatness, and Ms. Rose talked about compassion and humility. So syempre yung third speaker natin hindi naman magpapahuli, di ba? So for sure, we will learn more about leadership sa tao ito. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you our third speaker for today. Just to let you guys know, she's in the business and operations management, leadership training, quality management, and talent development for 14 years now. So magdedebut pa lang din siya sa kanyang karera. Ayan. She started her career as a sales trainer for 2 years and worked on her way up to being a senior operations manager. She recently joined Taskus as director of operations, and she's now leading the Deliveroo in-house teamwork. About her personal stuff, she's passionate about topics about women rights, education, and learning. She has a 7-year-old daughter, and her ultimate dream is to be an advisor or consultant. One of the things that she could be proud of is she's able to work with different people, with different nationalities and different geographies to launch projects. A graduate of Lean Six Sigma Black Belt Training Program. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Miss Janet Ramos of Deliveroo.
Guys, this is the third and the last speaker. So are you going to stay for this talk? Thank you so much. This is going to be quick. We learned a lot from our, honorable directors here. My talk will be very light, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. Okay. We are talking about leadership DNA, and then I tried really hard. What is my DNA? What sets me apart? And that's the question that was posted to me when we started building the talk. So I said, I'll tell my story just like my co-directors here. It is simple, but it's deep and it's true to me. So I'll tell you the actual story. When I was a teenager, sinong teenager dito? Teenager! When I was a teenager, I experienced how to apply in a BPO company for the very first time. Nakarelate? Hey! So what happened? My first real job application, medyo pawis, around Ortigas area. I have a cheap brown envelope where you put all the, 20 pieces up to 50 pieces resume. And since this is my first real job, 1 page lang yun. Diba? Tinatry lagyan ng madami, pero talagang wala, right? And it's my very first job application. So I walked in the company. First time, elevator. Dumating sa 8th floor. It's cold. Ma-aircon. First time. And then I entered the reception area. The guard asked me the question in English. Wow, si guard. So kinabahan ako. My heart was pounding. English to kahit sa guard, English. So kabado talaga. And then I handed one of my resumes to the receptionist that happened to be a recruiter as well. And they asked me to stay. Okay, stay. And I will need to take the exam. So I took the exam. The exam is, for me, simple. Math, logic, English grammar, the usual. Yung mga tinake nyo, tama? Madali? Yun, nawala yung yes doon. Pero tinake yun, di ba? Tinake yun. And then, I think I passed because they asked me to stay for an interview. So, stay. And then I waited for that opportunity. Hindi pala face-to-face over the phone. So, sabi ko, I can do this. I was 19 years old at that time, still studying college. And I thought, I really need this, so I will do this. I need the money. I need to help the family. I don't have money to pay the tuition fee. I need a decent food, not noodles every single day while in college, right? Plus rice. So I need this. So I said, okay, this is it, interview. I picked up the phone. Hello? Amerikano. Lalo kinabahan. Tapos he was so gibberish, hindi ko na maintindihan ko na yung tinanong, salta na lang ako ng salita. And then I ended the interview. And then I waited for the result that I knew I failed. So the HR manager went, spoke with me and said, you know what, ang ganda ng exam mo. We came from the same school, fortunately, naawa. Ito, kababata ko to eh. Hindi ko ito papabayaan. So, she spoke with me and she said, kaya mo to eh. Because I did really well in exam. Sabi niya, it's just that they cannot understand the way you speak English. Relate sometimes. So, what she did is she displayed that belief that I can do it. And then she became my very first teacher in a BPO company. You know what she did? Sabi, tara dito sa boardroom. And then we sat in the boardroom. She handed me over a list of things that I have to practice enunciating. Okay, sample na natin. Ito yung mga memorable sa akin. Sabi niya, ito, hindi to internet. Ano daw to? Internet. Sabi ko, internet? So, practice, internet. And then, meron pang isa. Sabi ko, ito, tatanong to kasi nandun yung client natin. New York. Ay, hindi to New York. Hindi New York yan. New York. And then, there's a list. And then, she tried to teach me how to enunciate. Teach. 15 minutes. Internet, New York, Internet, New York. Dumating. Then she spoke with a person over the phone. Sabi niya, paano bang sinabi niyo? And then they gave me a second chance. And then I spoke with the person again, with the new way of saying things, Internet, New York, and a lot more. And then he asked me to read all the words in the cheat sheet. And then after a few minutes, sabi ng HR manager, you did it! You passed my very first job. Sobrang tuwa ko. I'm hired! Finally, I got a job. I used to have another part-time before that, but I said, iba to? Bakit iba? May ATM. Iba-ibang ATM. May ATM ang trabaho, hindi na binibigay sa envelope. Sorry, the very first job with real benefit, may SSS number, may PhilHealth, may pag-ibig. And I was so grateful because I know I needed it. And I said, the HR manager, I will never forget that first teacher. I still do not say internet now. Internet talaga ako. Mahal ko yun eh. Internet. But I followed and I learned from her. And because she believed in me, and I tried to do what she said and she taught me, I got it. And she never stopped until I get it right. And I finally got the job. On my very first salary, sabi ko, hindi ko talaga siya makakalimutan, kailangan ko siya i-libre. Pero good luck, my salary at that time, 15 years ago, was, hulaan niya. Ay, ang galing ni Dex, magkaedad. 4,200! Sino may salary 4,200? ATM, ha? Nanginginig pa ako nung kinuha ko yung 4,200. But it's a validation. I'm a real employee. I have a source of income. This is the start. This is it. Diba? And because of that, I get more motivated because I said, people will help me. I'll find those great leaders that I know I need to honor because they are the start of everything. And it's because they taught me a thing or two. And I listened and I tried to learn. I got the things that I thought I could never get. So sabi ko, this is the opportunity. When I look back, there's so many people that I want to honor because they are real leaders. And they're real leaders for a reason. They teach you something in different ways. Umpisahan natin ang mga leaders. Okay, so before I show you all the leaders in my life, which I want to honor today, I'd like to show you that because of that, many people who helped me and taught me a thing or two. I got promoted multiple times. And it's not because of just me, just like all the other directors here. Somebody helped me. I became a process trainer because there is a trainer that I ask help from. Sabi ko, pwede mo ba akong practicein pag-demo? And then she did that even after her shift. She taught me, she said, this is how we should do the facilitation, this is how you should stand in front of people, this is how you should get every single thing she taught me. And then I said, I will never forget that trainer. Her name is Andrea. And I am still very thankful of her. Then I became a team leader. There's one team leader who used to always listen to my calls when I was a teammate. And then she said, kung kaya mo yan. And then she said, promote ka pag nag-apply ka. And then later on, she taught me how to answer questions and things like that. And then I got promoted as a team leader. And I became a leadership trainer because of a person's help as well. They were all great teachers. And you know what I realized? They are my leaders. They spent their heart and time to teach me something that made me, confident and believe in myself too. So I said, these are great leaders. Because I've seen so many leaders. I don't know, maybe they didn't have enough time, but they did not teach me anything, and it did not help me. Or sometimes when I look at them, the way they speak, the way they behave, or the way they, respond to other people, it teaches me too. Is that the right leader? Is that the not so right leader? And then I get to learn. So as time goes, I'm always very thankful. There is one operation or team leader before who taught me how to do Excel, and I fell in love with Excel because I learned it from somebody. And even the internet, I love the internet because I learned from internet. YouTube! I learned a lot from YouTube, right? So along the way, there's something and someone who's always teaching me. And I look at them as leaders. Because if not, then I won't be. And me as a leader right now, I embrace exactly the same thing. If you're a leader, you need to be good at something, right? And then when you're good at something, you share it. And when you share it, you need to believe that they can do it. And then the next step there is that you don't stop until they learn, no matter what. That's how our coaching is all about, right? We start with the mindset. Whatever is the situation, if there is something, you learn it. And my heart is in that process, that whatever happens, you will learn it and you will be better and greater than who I am right now. So I said, yeah, that's who I am. I teach, I train, I coach. It's because I am in my position because somebody did that to me. And I think this is a great opportunity to honor them all. So let's see. Of course, Jesus. Jesus is a leader, teacher. Relate? Whatever your religion, it's about the spirit, right? The spiritual health. We know that we believe that based on all the things that we learned, we follow it. We follow a leader. We're following a leader. That is Jesus. Next one. This is my mother. Her name is Elvira. Every single day in my childhood, nag-iis ka na ba? Hindi pa inayos yan. Where's your assignment? Relate, mothers. Your mother, no matter how much, how difficult it is, she's my leader. She's strong. The way she strives life, I adore it, no matter how imperfect she is. She's my leader because she's taught me a thing or two: to work hard, to inspire others, to believe in myself as a woman, and not stop when the work is not done. And then the next one, this is my high school teacher. She sent me to all science competitions when I was in high school. And we call her Mrs. Minchin. Guess why? O, pang Mrs. Mitchin talaga siya. And her name is Mrs. Melpin. Diba? Parang, pag nakatalito dyan, Mrs. Mitchin. Pag nakaharap, Mrs. Melpin. Ganun. Okay, ng teacher. She's so strict. She does not allow you to do anything but prepare. And because of her, I became successful. Of course, my child, who taught me so many things, even if she doesn't have that ability to verbally teach yet. Unconditional love and, patience to do work, even if I'm tired, even without sleep. That's what our children are teaching us, right? Who has children here? It teaches you one thing or two, right? A lot. Yes, even without them talking. You can do impossible things. You can be awake 3 days. Right? Just to do it because she's there and she's inspiring you. She's leading you. My kid is leading me to do what I need and I have to do. Next. Oh, guwapo. Sino yan? Diba? This is my very first boyfriend, life partner, and the father of my kid. And he taught me a lot of things, right? Kung ano pa man yun, sa amin na yun. Gusto niyo malaman? Ano hindi yung sa inyo? Yan. Next. And I have a lot of friends in the industry as well. Whenever we talk, I learn a lot from them. They are my leaders. And they don't need to have a title. They are not supposed to be directors or whatever. I learn every single day, and I am honoring that. And of course, I'm in different schools, a product of public school ever since Zapandel College, and then now I'm in a private school for masters. But every single one of my classmates and my teacher, they are leaders to me because whenever they speak, whenever they participate, whenever they say something, I learn from it and I honor them because of it. And then because of that, I get to know more and I get to share more. And that's what's important, right? And of course, our team here, we have a lot of beautiful, aside from beautiful, very smart, and very competent leaders. And people are not perfect everywhere we go, whether in the school, house or home, or in our company. But they are there. And Pastas is unique because we have leaders who have values. They'll be more than willing to share and to teach, whether there's something in return or not. And this is my last class. Going back to everything that I have learned and everything that I'm thankful about, that somebody taught me something, I started training. I train people even if they are not part of my team. I train about business with my friends outside. This is one of my team in my previous company. We went on a coffee session and we talk about leadership. And I have a module for that. So I prepare, I try to be good at what I do so I can teach them and then later on they can teach too. And that's just how it flows, right? And because of that, I feel that I am a leader too. Because I look up and just do what other leaders do. They empower you, they make you successful because of the help that they give. So what did I learn? We know something. You know something. If you are from DoorDash or from Turbo or any other campaign, if you're in Turbo, you know how to process those data sets. Who knows how to process data sets? Wala? Yan, good. If you will just be very good at it and you teach it to another person, you are a leader. And in my experience, because I did that and somebody did that to me, I became one. And, whatever titles it is, I've had so many titles. I've been a quality head, operations head, I led sites, of process improvement, all of those titles. It's the same thing. I learned from someone, and as a leader, I teach them how to do it. I put my heart there, and I believe that they can do it. And I do not stop until they are successful with whatever they want to learn. And which is the second point. When we learn something and we want to teach something as leaders, we believe that whoever we're teaching can do it. And if you are the recipient, then be very thankful. That's why there should be a lot of leaders that are teachers. And when that happens, we don't stop because it's tiring, we don't have time, or it's just hopeless. We don't stop until it's done, meaning they are successful too. And that's how Grow Coaching is for Taskas, right? It's weekly, sometimes repetitive, but the heart is there. And the good thing about leaders is that they teach you something that they are good at. And if you want to become one, starting with a data set, starting with the actual call, if you have a wonderful QA, then be the leader of that QA. Share it with heart, believe that whoever you will share it, they will become good. And then don't stop until they become successful. And after that validation, you are a leader. People will look at you as a leader. You don't need to ask for promotion. You will be eyed for that job because you have been doing it. So if you are a leader right now, then you can be a leader now. Do it now, share it now, so that when it's time, when it's your time, like mine, you're ready and you already have that leadership capability. Whatever it is, whether it's cooking or coaching, just share it and do it. And then the last one is we do it not because we're just wanting to be promoted, right? It's not authentic. It will not last. So whatever you know best, whether you're very good in QA, you're very good in taking calls, you're good at what you do in a specific data set, when you coach it, you believe that they can do it, you can transform them and improve them, and you do it because you just want it, and you're passionate about it, and then it will become a purpose. And all the energy in the universe will just, point toward your future. And your future is the leadership. So, this is maybe my parting message after the story. Great leaders are great teachers. It sets apart the great from the good. And you will be great leaders in the future. Start teaching what you know best now, and you will get noticed. And things will just flow perfectly, just like what happened. Thank you. My question for the two, and this is going to be really, really light. I hope you remember. How much is my first salary?
4,200.
Hindi mo talaga makalimutan yan, sir? So no matter how much your first salary is, it can be 100 times more, right? If you will start teaching other people of what you know now. Second, ATM nanginginig pa. What did we learn today? For you to be a great leader, you need to be a great teacher. Thank you. So I'll give this to you. You should be able to teach something or two, right? And for you to be able to do that, you should be good at it. And be good at what you do now. Teach it. When you teach, believe that they can do it. And don't stop. Believe in them that they can be better than you. And you do it like a cycle because it's just your passion. And everything else will just come. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Odie Shannon, for that fun and inspiring story. For us to give us our closing remarks, I would like to call our Culture and Development Drake. All right, applause John.
Alright, thanks everyone for coming on this first leadership talk on this year by the Questers team. It's their anniversary, so congrats. And lastly, is it worth it, guys? So ba? Are you guys ready to step up? There we go. Again, thank you for coming. And still, ibaon niyo po na yung mga kailangan ibaon na golden nuggets from our bodies. From our operation directors, thank you so much. It's really inspiring. Up to the support team and to the other teammates and other leaders. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Guys, selfie tayo with the speakers. By the way, I'd like to acknowledge the presence. Please give a big hand to our boss in HR, Sir Kit. Kindly give a wave there. Ayan. Thank you for your presence. It adds value and meaning. And of course, our WFM director, Mr. Mark Santos. I saw Max a while ago. Our recruitment manager were their bags. Yeah, who else? Jeff is there. I saw Jeff a while ago. Yeah, thank you for the leaders who shared in this occasion. Can we have a selfie with the three oldies here? Selfie,